This is SWBC Mortgage's Cowboys Crosstalk.
Check this out.
Broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco. Brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by SWBC Mortgage. Customized solutions to help you meet your personal and business goals. Visit SWBC.com. Now, your host, Shannon Gross.
Welcome to Cowboys Crosstalk live from Cowboys Club, where it's raining outside, but it's nothing but sunshine inside. We have a very, very special guest of honor tonight. We'll get to you in a second. Let me
wait my turn.
Let me introduce the crew real quick. To my right, a guy that's usually in the host chair. I hope you're going to be okay not being the host tonight.
I love being
all right.
Second, third, fourth fiddle. It's great.
All right, Ari Timpkin of 105.3 The Fan. How's it going tonight, Ari?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Man, pumped. Like, I am super excited about this show tonight. One, because you're here.
Thank you. Of course.
Two, because of the guy to your right.
Of course.
My partner in crime on Hanging with the Boys on DallasCowboys.com. Nate Newton, how you doing tonight, Nate?
Man, I'm super excited. Boy, this is the guest I've been waiting on, man. This is the guy that took my place in the locker room, baby.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So let's get right to it. If you
he?
don't know about this guy,
Yes.
stay tuned in, because this is one of the most energetic,
Entertaining.
contagious people
Entertaining.
in the world. You look like a big, sexy cartoon character now with that hair and that beard. Welcome to the show, Joe Looney. Jumbo Joe. What's up, Joe?
I tell you what, I don't know what to do with all these compliments, man. You guys, I mean,
Wait till you see the
goodness
Zeke
gracious,
impression.
I tell you.
Get the Zeke impression going.
Do you have the crop
Yeah,
top?
just this one ab going on here right now. That's a retirement stomach for you.
Man.
Hey, man.
Well, Joe, congratulations on retirement. Let's start the show there.
Yes, sir.
One, how did you get there? What made you decide to say, hey, I just want to enjoy life? Like, what was that process like?
Right. So, I had a little bit of time with the Giants. I signed a contract with them. And at that time, I thought that I still wanted to play football. And, I had a wonderful young lady in my life, who's my wife now.
Yes.
Kendra, man.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you so much.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand to be away from her.
There you
she's
go.
she's like gravity. She just, she's my. You know how God talked about in the Bible. He took the rib from that. She's my rib. He brought it back to me.
Okay.
So
You wanted your rib back.
Oh yeah, I needed it back. And, I'm like, come on now. So I was missing her, and then I got my two kids, and this is my son's first football season. He's 5 years old, he's playing flag football, and I couldn't miss that. I couldn't miss that. And to go forward with it, I'm now coaching this flag football team. It's amazing. I got 5-year-olds running around, and I'm coaching them up like they're Hall of Fame, pro athletes. But I got to see my son, score his first touchdown. And I
Nice.
tell you what, you want to talk about a proud moment as a dad. Not only as a dad, but I was just standing there like, he's not going to be an offensive lineman. He's going to be a skill player. He's got it. He's got it. As long as he doesn't find the refrigerator like his pops did, he is going to be just fine.
Right.
So that really went into my my sphere of just saying, hey, I'm done playing the game. But I think for all of us who are around the game, who played the game, you're never really done with it. I get a chance to sit down on Fridays. I go to high school football games with my wife and my kids, and watch Saturday games, and Sunday watch the NFL games. So it's been great. It's just been a real true blessing.
I just wanted you to tell a quick story for Ari take over here. Tell me, when you was at practice, tell me like you told me the other day, like when you saw the guys practice and you decided, I can't do this no more.
Oh, yeah.
In New York.
So I was just, man, I was waiting we were doing like a 5-on-4 drill.
Right.
And this is, basically as offense and defensive linemen, it's like car wrecks going on in there.
This is up in New York.
This is up in New York, and I'm just sitting there, and I got my mouthpiece in, and I'm waiting to do my turn, and I'm just like, this ain't for me no more. It's not. this is not what I want to do anymore. I think my days of hitting grown men are over with.
Quickly.
That quickly. On the field, I mean, I almost took my helmet and pads off right there.
Did you finish practice?
I finished practice.
Okay.
I tell you, it was probably one of the best darn practices I've ever had in my life. I mean, I was like, you know what? I'm going to give the game this practice, and I'm gonna walk away from it the way I want to walk away from it.
Like a UFC fighter, take the gloves off the pad, just leave them in the ring, and just walk off.
Oh yeah, I mean, I remember, Alfred Morris was there. He was there with me, and I remember going up to Alfred after practice, man, and I was just, hey, this is my last time doing this, man, and it was just something we all feel, at a point in our lives where you're just comfortable with it, and you're just like, all right, there's more important things to go on and look forward to.
Yeah. Nate.
No, I want Ori. Come on, come on. Now,
what about you?
I asked my question.
I'm curious. When did that? I mean, what about you?
It was basically the same thing with me with the Panthers, the Carolina Panthers. I knew within a week I wanted to quit, but Tony Wise, my first offensive line coach that really helped me become Nate Newton, was there. And I'm like, I never had the heart to tell him I didn't want to play no more. I really didn't study the playbook. It threw me in a game, and I got to sack the quarterback. I was already out of there, bro. And
Coach,
so,
pat the helmet.
Yeah, so
I'm done.
He knew, and then he looked at me after the game, Coach Wise. And he looked at me, and then he called me in Monday the next, Monday. I'm over there early working out. He said, Nate, you ain't got to worry about it. You ain't starting this week. I put the other guy ahead of you. I said, thank you.
Won't he do it? Won't he do it? I tell you.
Thank you, Coach. I said, I'm going to coach him up and I'm going to cheer for him.
Yes, sir.
And I was gone when the season was over with. They didn't have to call me and tell me they had released me. I sent the release papers to them.
Wow.
I'll go ahead and clear my
When it's
locker.
over,
Here's
bro.
my playbook.
When it's over, you know.
Yeah, you know.
You
You
may
know
not
when
do
it's
it.
done.
Somebody sent a message to Pittsburgh, but anyway.
So what's next for Joe? Are you just enjoying time with the wife and the kids and then just going to figure it out? Or do you have we got an opening on the social media team. Like
Yes,
we
we
have
do.
an internship where we would love to have you come do some content for us.
I tell you what, I'm pretty much open to anything right now. And right now,
don't say that to him. You're not open
Coffee
to anything.
and donuts for the social media team.
he's gonna bring me right in. Donuts every day. Here you go, Rudy. Come here. But I'm enjoying this time right now, and I think one of the things that I'm gonna pursue in my life is I definitely want to go to seminary school.
Wow,
and I can't tell you how just Jesus Christ has just been changing my life. From the time when I really made the decision to put Him first. It's just been absolutely amazing. So I definitely want to do that. Because I feel like in my NFL career, I've been to the top and I've been to the bottom and everywhere in between. And I think I got some, real good advice I could give to people.
Right.
Because, I'm getting advice from the big guy upstairs.
Right. Right.
So I
Wow,
definitely going to
that.
pursue that in my life. And, with my son playing football and my daughter doing dance, just committing as much time as I can to them.
Yeah, sermons with you will be very interesting. I can't wait to hear those.
All hype sermons, baby. All hype sermons, man. People gonna walk out
be there, bro.
They're gonna walk out the church sweating there.
I'll be there. Promise
I appreciate you. I
Nate
appreciate
will be
you.
there, bro. Yes, sir. But anyway.
So how about this Cowboys offense?
Oh, I mean, when you got so many weapons, first of all, you got to start with Dak. Dak is just he's one of the most amazing.
He's on another level right now.
Yeah, and he's always been that quiet leader of the team. Just a wonderful spirit, and the way he works is absolutely amazing. And it trickles down to everybody. Everybody else is feeding off of him, and then Zeke and Tony running the ball the way they are, and the wide receiver core out there. I think one of the greatest things, if you want to sit down and talk ball, is the receivers, man, and them being so unselfish. They're out there blocking guys, and you can see it. It's just it's a spirit out there that, the guys are just having fun. And when you're out there, having fun like you did in Little League and high school, man, football is easy. It's easy at that point.
What do you stay in touch with any of the guys on the team? I mean, you were here 10 minutes ago. Like, are you pretty close with any of the guys still?
Yeah, I'm definitely close with all the guys. I think during the season I try not to bother them as much.
Yeah.
Because I know what it feels like. It's hard to send texts and reply to calls during the season. But definitely, if a guy texts me, hey, have fun this week, whatnot. But it's great seeing all my friends out there, doing what they love and having fun and winning football games. When you're winning football games in the NFL, there's nothing like it. You walk into the locker room. It's easier to make jokes, with coaches, and you're walking around, man. It's a great time.
Wow.
What do you see, Nate? I want to hear some offensive line talk in this first segment. Nate, you get into it.
No,
I want to hear it.
I can't because their terminologies and lingos and code words are different than mine. If they wanted to do a deuce block, I don't know if they call it a deuce block, but they didn't want to say deuce to the defense. They knew what that meant. I'm going to get double teamed. So he probably, what words y'all use for deuce?
Yeah, so we say doom, or if it's a play where there's no puller, doom, deuce, double.
Yeah.
But just like you said, man, the guys across the ball are really smart. So
yeah.
When you really go out there on Sunday, you kind of you get a comfortability, playing with guys, and you don't try to say as many words out there because those guys here
Rocky. Okay, it's coming to the right.
Right. They hear that, man. It's like these guys,
Peter, he's pulling.
Yeah.
Right. I was like,
come on, man.
It's coming here.
Yeah.
Like,
look at Big Nate, man. His fingers trembling. They coming forward.
Right, man. So when you get
I'm
out
just
there,
overweight, man. That's all that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but when you get out there, you try not to use all the words you do in practice.
Real.
You just kind of walk up there. You look to the guy next to you, and that's where it gets to, it's important to have a group out there playing next to each other.
Continuity, man.
Exactly. Having just knowing what the guy next to you is going to do before he even does it, it's huge because the offensive line is one of the only groups on the field that's playing as a group. And if you're not gelling, then it's going to be a tough day.
We had one word that we knew that nobody would. With trio, we had trio. You didn't know what, and it's three guys. They knew it's three guys, but you didn't know which three guys was coming at you. And so, because sometimes we'll let Tua just say trio. Tackle ain't never, come on, man. But they couldn't catch that. So that was our only word that we could use the whole year was trio.
Right.
Because they knew what it was, they just didn't know where it was coming from.
Nah, they just didn't know where it was coming from. And see, we had more fat than Looney. Looney don't want fat like us. We had fat everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
They're in shape these days.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You guys are just into compliments. I appreciate it.
Well, you know what?
I love it.
Let's take our first break, and when we come back, we will compliment you some more.
Yeah.
The great Joe Looney with us tonight. This is Cowboys Crosstalk on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network. I'm Shannon Gross. To my right is the great Ari Timpkin. To his right is the great Nate Newton. And to his right
is the great,
the one and only Jumbo
Yes,
Joe Looney.
I'll tell you what, man, you guys.
Hey, Joe, before we get back to football,
Talk to me.
SWBC has customized solutions for individuals and businesses, and they're just a click away. What I want you to do right after the show, don't be like Nate and pick your phone up and do it right now. Visit SWBC.com to learn more, Joe, and start your next adventure.
SWBC.com.
Yes, sir.
Simple. I got it.
Let's go. Hey, you might have a future in this
Ready,
business,
break.
man. Let's go. All right, I want to talk to you about this current Dallas Cowboys team. A lot of surprises on the team this year. You can go a lot of different directions with this. Obviously, defense jumps out at you. What shocks you the most about these Dallas Cowboys?
Well, I want to, being a fan now and being able to watch these guys, and like I said earlier, is just the amount of fun they look like they're having out there, and the spirit's up, and that makes everything a heck of a lot easier. And also, when you're doing the things they're doing on the football field, when Dak is back there slinging the football and guys are catching it, and then you got, Zeke and Tony back there, man, the dynamic duo, just crushing guys, running over guys. You watch the passion when they're running the football, and they're not getting knocked back. They're finishing forward, and that's one of the things you see, and it's just something that weighs on defenses. And like I said, man, watching how much passion they're out there playing with, it makes the game easy. Yeah. It makes it easy, man. You just go out there, strap your helmet up. Hey, guys, let's go have fun. Let's do what we've been doing our whole lives. Do what we've been doing, since we were little kids.
Have you seen how they've been using Connor McGovern as like a lead blocker at times?
Him. They got that from him.
Right. That's one of the places where I start. At that
66 is eligible.
Hey,
what was it? 73 is eligible.
73 reporting is eligible, baby.
Man.
Did you ever get a pass thrown to you?
You know what? We had one in the books. It was ready to go.
On game day?
It was on game day. It was on game day. I remember in practice when they put the play in, Coach Gary, he was throwing me passes, every which way.
Getting you ready.
And I was, I told Coach, I was like, man, before I was alive, it's an athlete in here somewhere. I grew up, back home in Lake Worth, Florida, man. I mean, we were out in the alley, it was like, hey, throw the ball up and we're going to catch it. So these hands are definitely up to date.
Right.
We can catch the ball. But it was in there, and I remember we were playing Detroit, and we were on the 2-yard line, and I run in, report, and I'm like, I don't even need to hear the play call. I already know what it is. I know this is going to be the pass. This is it. I'm going to get to do my little, shuffle in there, from the Goonies. And this is the truffle shuffle. And that's going to be the celebration, baby. And, we're in the huddle. Dak calls the play. And I trot to where I'm supposed to be at. And Dak's like, John, go over here, man. He's like, it's a different play. And I'm like, you're kidding me. I was called the timeout, guys. I mean, let's discuss this a little bit. Let's see what we're talking about here. But we had it in the playbook, but unfortunately never got
one. Mm-hmm. Ari, what's been the biggest surprise to you about this Cowboys team so far?
Yeah, I mean, the defense. Look, the offense doesn't surprise me. This was expected to be a really good offense this year. I think just as Joe said, the offensive line, the quarterback, wide receivers, running back, the play caller. I mean, Kellen Moore is on another level right now. The defense, and it's not just the defense's play. You've got now 3 foundational pieces at every level of the defense with the way that Trayvon Diggs has emerged, with the way that Micah Parsons has emerged. And once Tank Lawrence comes back, I mean, it's been a long time since we've seen the Cowboys have that kind of play at those 3 levels of their defense. And, I mean, I'm curious for you guys, but I thought Trayvon Diggs was good last year. I thought the first couple of games this year he had some picks. But I didn't think he was a lockdown guy. We've seen him really lock down receivers the last few weeks, and that's a new part of the game for him that I think is starting to come. And then Micah Parsons, what can you say about him? He's just an animal out there.
Right, and to go on with your point, Trayvon Diggs, man, I mean, it's from your rookie year to your second year in the NFL, you learn so much. And, as a rookie, you walk out there, and sometimes it's overwhelming. There's so many moving parts. The game's so much faster than in college, and sometimes it's overwhelming. But now you see, the game slowed down to him. He's, in a system that's, helping him out.
Yep.
And, I mean, I saw something, the other day, You know, people do those little. He's got more picks than some teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
So it's absolutely
27 teams.
I mean, it's
More than 27 teams.
You know, I mean, he's his own team. He's his own little interception machine out there.
And he's like goading them. I mean, the one interception he had, it was like he let the receiver go past him, and then he's like, oh, Mike Lennon thinks he's open, and then he just sped right down and got the football. It was incredible.
Right. You know, you sit there and you're just like, oh, no, receiver's behind the defense, and then you just see, no, Trayvon. I'll take that. I'll pick that for you.
Nate, what's been the biggest surprise to you on this Cowboys team so far?
Besides lining up right on defense?
Uh-oh.
No. Man, everything y'all talked about. I know Coach Quinn would be good because Isaiah Stanback just talks about him over and over and over. And I know Coach Quinn would be good, but the way he's got these guys to believe in themselves, the way he told us during training camp, I was talking to him during training camp, we did a show together. He was saying, I asked him about a guy. He would tell me his place, his role, and it ain't nothing changed. Every guy that we talked about, from the D-line to the line, he had a role for them. He told Mr. Jones that role. He told Will McClay that role. And he told his head coach that, and those players are filling their roles. And you can't ask for a better – that's what kind of coach do you need? When a guy can say, hey, man, this is what I vision you. You're going to start out, and yeah, you'll be okay, but we're going to just want you to host. We don't want you to be giving no opinions. We just want you to host. All right, is you giving opinions yet?
Me?
Yeah.
Never.
Okay, so he's still a host.
I got my role.
You know his role.
I got my role. I don't have to like my role. I just got to know I have a role.
I'll tell you.
Yeah. But see, I'm done. He know, man.
Oh, yeah.
This guy knows, and he got guys believing. So when you got guys believing, like I said, now it turns into fun because everything is secondary. You play. I know the defense. I know the options. I know the adjustments, and they just playing. They flying to the ball.
Ari mentioned Kellen Moore earlier. Kellen, is he doing anything different this year, or is it just look different because they're being successful?
Well, I think Kellen, he's always been that coach that's he's going to take what the defense gives him, and he's going to take his shots when he wants to. You know, he's an aggressive play caller, and you know, it's so much fun to watch. And you know, last year being with the injuries and everything, man, when you got these guys, when you got your full core of weaponry available, you know, it makes that whole play sheet, you know, available, and you can call and you can have fun. I mean, I think there was one play where Cedric Wilson, you know, got the ball and threw the ball to Noah Brown. I mean, it just opens up everything for you in that playbook. And when you got everybody available, it makes it easy. And you know, with Kellen, you know, he's just such a offensive mind. You know, he's having fun out there. He looks like a kid out there calling plays.
Do you think he's head coaching material?
I definitely think Kellen could be a head coach. You know, from being with them on a team, you know, being players together, and then seeing him as a coach, I definitely think he has what it takes to, you know, be in the locker room with the players and, you know, be that authority figure at the same time. So I definitely think he could do it if he wants to.
The thing, because I would be critical. He'll tell you, I used to be so critical on Kellen. And he's grown. He's grown. He understands. And I say give him another year. Not this year, but give him another year, because I promise you, to talk to the quarterbacks and to the offense, that's one thing, but to try to control that other side and what they thinking, that's another thing. Organizational skills. Let him see a little bit more, because when you got to deal with 90 of them and cut down to 50 of them, it's a whole different house, man.
Hey, let me ask you something, because I remember talking to Kellen a couple of years ago, and it's like, so how do you know, where are you influenced by? Who are your influences? And he mentioned, like, he watches football and he sees a play that he likes and he, like, will bring it to the table and stuff. Like, was that something you guys did? Like, were your offensive coordinator be like, you know, North Turner be like, yeah, I just saw this play. I just saw this play on TV, and we're going to run it next week.
What we do as players and what coaches do is they'll see where a team destroyed you with a one play or two plays the week before. Now, the smart coaches, and I think Kellen is like this, I think Coach Reed is like this, and I knew Northern. Now, do I have the personnel to run this play? So that's right. What Kellen is asking himself now. Before, he was just drawing. He had 1,000 pieces of paper, you know, drawing. But now he's like, oh, I got CeeDee Lamb. Oh, I got Amari. Zeke can do this, Tony can do that, and my offensive line can do it all. This past week, I forgot to bring it up. This past week, they got back to pulling, Loon. Mm-hmm. That's one thing I hated that we didn't do last year and the year before. We got away from the pulling. Y'all was too athletic not to take advantage of that. They got back to the pulling this week.
Yeah, they definitely got some athletic guys up there on that offensive line. You know, I know when I worked with the offensive line group, we made it a point, you know, we'd work with the quarterbacks and running backs and try to beat them, you know, in the drills. Because it's just, you know, we always like to think that we, you know, can still do it and play a skill position. Right. But I think, too, man, you know, when it comes to Kellen and he has this idea of what he wants an offense to look like, and then you send, you know, your general Dak Prescott out there, you know, he's calling the plays from the base, and then you got your general out there just going and getting it done, man. And he took Kellen's vision, man, and he's just, you know, doing it out there on the field. And when you got a guy like that, them two are working together, you know, back and forth. I mean, you know, God bless anybody who lines up against him.
Yeah, it's like you said, they're having fun, like the Cedric Wilson play. It's a trick play. You're having fun. Everybody's happy. Oh, they tried it. It didn't work. If you're losing, it's like, what are they calling that play for? Like, winning helps everything.
It does.
It makes everything enjoyable. And like, they made a mistake there. It's fine.
And the thing,
we're up by 4.
The thing that you hope for Kellen, and for the second time around for Coach Quinn, because it's coming. The second time around is, are you that coach that got that one or two plays in the bag that can make that average team just a little bit better, or that great team go over the top? That's the thing you ask now about Kellen. Does he have enough? Him and Dak has enough moxie with each other to take us to the next level. The next level ain't far for me, because all it is 2 playoff wins. I ain't talking Super Bowl. I don't talk stupidity. I'm talking realistically. You know, can they get to the second round of playoffs and win it? Mm-hmm. Be it you have the best record and you only have one off week and got advantage, or you got to go through the whole gambit.
You don't think the Super Bowl is realistic?
Nah.
You know what?
Nah.
Hold that thought, Nate. I know what you're going to say. Let's talk about that.
Nah, Tom Brady and Tampa.
All right. Hang on. We're going to talk about that. What is realistic for this team?
Debate.
Let's talk
the
about.
Rams ain't got a good coach.
Let's talk about music, Joe. I want to get into your music head, because I know you're a big music guy. And we'll talk about, got a lot of guys that are going to be coming back here in the next several weeks that are good players, which makes this team even more scary. What's that going to look like when they come back? All of that and more. You're listening to Cowboys Crosstalk on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
To SWBC Mortgage's Cowboys Crosstalk.
Yeah, check this out.
Broadcasting live from the Cowboys Club at the Star in Frisco.
SWBC Mortgage. Join the more than 120,000 customers that we've helped to find their happier way home. Visit SWBCmortgage.com to find a pro today. And speaking of pros, 3 out of the 4 of us here are, and I will introduce the 3 pros. Ari Timken to my right, Nate Noon to his right, and Mr. Brightside himself, Jumbo Joe Looney. Welcome back to the show. So, Joe, before we get back to football talk and these here Cowboys, you're a big music guy.
I am.
How did you? Where did your love of music start? Because you spin the ones and twos a little bit.
I tried to a little bit.
Yeah?
I tried to be a DJ a little bit, but I would definitely say my love comes from my dad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my dad was big on music. I mean, I remember being in Little League, riding to practice with him, and he's, jamming out on Van Halen. He was big into rock and roll, Pink Floyd, something like that. And, it just always was like, hey, music makes you feel good. If you're down, you need something to pick you back up a little bit. I know one of the ones, my wife's love is, Your Love by The Outfield. Josie's on a vacation far away. Come around and talk it over. So many things.
Yeah, I know that one. I know that one.
You know I like my girls a little bit older. I just want to use your love tonight. Oh, yes. I mean, just like that. Music, it helps. It brings everybody together, picks your mood up. And I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. And I've always kind of had it there with me, man, and listening to a lot of DJs and stuff like that. But I did try to spin some tunes every now and then, try to work that DJ.
Still doing that?
No, not anymore. I figured out, I'm gonna
You're gonna
put
flag
that,
it.
put that on, put that one on the back burner. Just stick to coaching some of these little kids in flag football.
Well, that's a first on the show. We've never broken out in song, so thank you for doing that for us.
You're
That was
welcome, you're
amazing.
welcome.
I'm trying to make this count as one of our podcasts, so we can have them in the Olympic
race?
challenge that we having. Yeah.
We need to talk to you
we're
after the
talking
show.
about that.
Yeah, we need to talk to you after the show. All right, what about you, Nate? What's your musical taste?
I
love all music.
Go ahead, Nate.
No, I love all music.
You have a very diverse music.
Yeah, I love all music.
Taste.
I can't sing songs like him. I can hum along, but I love all music except I can't do the hard acid rock, and I'm not gonna let myself go back to the rap.
No metal or rap?
No
metal?
Because rapper that twist
What about
your
old
mind.
rap?
The good rap, like Furious 5, Sugar Hill Gang, when they're talking about cornbread and macaroni and stuff like that. Cornbread and macaroni. Chicken tastes like wood, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can do the old rap, but none of this new stuff.
What about you, Ari?
Yeah, huge music fan and into everything. I mean, literally, everything from Chopin and Beethoven to Tupac and everything in between. Tool, love metal. I mean, everything. Because it's, different moods for different, different times.
I just never understood a group name itself Tool,
Tool's awesome.
I know,
you wouldn't
but
like it, though. It's metal.
Yeah. But I listened to it. It was some guy was recording, and dude made me buy it at the CD store, and it was banging so hard till my wife came in there. I was trying to get into it. I found myself banging my head on the wall to try to I was like, cut it off, baby. It ain't going to work.
Well, I'll tell you what, great music story. We're in meetings, and, Coach Colombo was our offensive line coach when I was
Very
here.
heavy
Free
metal.
reign, baby.
Free reign. I had no idea, him,
didn't know?
Leonard Davis. I had no idea these guys that started a band. They pop up YouTube, put on a music video, and they're just sitting there screaming at the mic, and I'm just like, oh, yeah, I can get down with that, baby. It was great.
It was what? Mark Leonard, Corey Proctor.
Yeah, I know it was all
Yeah.
offensive linemen in
Yeah.
that way. They were just in there slapping the bass a little bit.
And it was so funny. Like, you had to like all the big guys stand up on the stage. You're gonna like our music.
Yeah, I mean, what you do?
What's the music situation like on game day and during the week in the locker room? Is there Does everybody listen to their headphones? Is there a system in there? Like, who gets control of the music?
Yeah, so during game day, this was actually one of my, it was a huge job of mine during my little stint with the Cowboys. I was a little bit of the team DJ, and it's rough in there. It's rough in there.
It's a tough job.
You got to, you got to please everybody in that locker room, but you kind of get. You feel people out, and you know when to play certain songs and get people pumped up. As groups go out, they got kind of their own song they want to hear, and you see it. It's like,
an important job.
I'll dial that up real quick. Let's go ahead and get them ready to play.
So who took over that role?
I have no idea, but we had I think it was Dez. He bought. My first year here was 2016, and he bought this big jukebox into the locker room. And I mean, the thing was just loud as heck, man. Just loud as heck. And I finally ended up going over there and kind of all right, here's my Bluetooth hookup. Kind of check it out. Who's on the tunes, man? Oh, it's me. I'll keep going.
Yeah, I just confiscated Dad's boombox.
You build your confidence a little bit, and he just kind of comes. All right, Looney, get on the tunes a little bit. Mm-hmm.
That's a great story.
What about you?
Oh, yeah.
Music? Oh, man, I'm all over the place. I can listen to country, rock, hip-hop,
We go to Mexico
hip-hop.
every year. What you listen to when you go to Mexico?
Whatever. It doesn't matter in Mexico. I'm on vacation. I don't care. But I'm a big live music guy. I'll go listen to anything live at least once just to see if I like it and something that I might get turned on to. But I'm like you, Ari. I'll listen to anything across the board. So.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, how was it in your day, Nate? Did y'all have someone that had the?
We started out like it wasn't happening with Coach Landry. It wasn't Christian Southern.
I was gonna say gospel.
Yeah, you wasn't turning it on. But when Jimmy came, Jimmy had one rule. That's when the iPods was out.
Oh yeah.
Like y'all got enough money. Buy your iPod, buy your earphones, and put it on your own.
Don't play it out loud.
Yeah, because if a guy next to you say, "Hey man, I don't like that music," put your earphones on and you can bang it as hard as you want.
And then you graduate to our generation, and then you got a bunch of guys like me who think they can sing, because you got those noise canceling headphones now. You put the Bose on, and it's just you can't hear anything. All you hear is the music, and you're just You think you sound good, but then it's like, all right, put the speaker on, and we don't want to listen to that.
Yeah. So Joe, you brought up earlier the receivers, right? Ari, what are they going to do when Michael Gallup comes back? Like, you've almost forgotten about Gallup. Cedric Wilson's been showing up. CD, phenomenal. Amari, probably the best route runner in the game right now. Dak's dealing to everybody. Dalton Schultz, who saw that coming? You thought Blake Jarwin was getting that job back when he came in, and now Dalton's getting most of the snaps. Where does Michael Gallup, does he come back in and Cedric, hey, nice, thank you, but.
I mean, how incredible is it, though, that, it seems like for the last decade, when this team had injuries, it was devastating.
They forgot how to play.
That wasn't the scene. That was what it was. Happening.
Remember, what was the record? It was like they had this record with Sean Lee was out. It was like they couldn't win without Sean. And so you think about it, DeMarcus Lawrence has been missing. They've been missing Lyle Collins. They've been missing Michael Gallup. I mean, these are really important players. Right. Mm-hmm. And it's like every, I remember in years past, every postgame show, it's like, oh, if only they can get this guy back. If only they can get this guy back. And now it's like, what are they going to do when these guys come back?
Where they fit in.
Right. And I would say, number one, this is a pretty good indication of where Michael Gallup's probably not going to be here next year because of Cedric Wilson. He makes him more expendable, which is tough because Michael Gallup is a really good, underrated player, but he's going to go probably make some good money elsewhere. But, he's going to slide right back. And he's a very productive receiver. He's been such an underrated player for these guys. He making big-time catches, third-down catches, great balance, his ability to make catches that are just, you can't believe that he'd make those catches. So I'm looking forward to seeing him back because he's probably, at this point, like, hey, they're not missing me as much as I hoped or thought they would miss me. So and then Lyle Collins, that's an interesting one too. I think he's going to go to right tackle. But I think now you have more confidence in your swing tackle and Terrence Steele.
Yeah. Nate, talk about that. I know we talk about it on our show when guys are hurt and they see guys balling out, and then they're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, y'all can fool around if you want. I've been about Wilson all year. He'll tell you I left out of training camp about Wilson. But, man, don't y'all ever think until Steele becomes Lyle, don't ever think.
Yeah.
And see, I believe in the backup because that's where I started. you know, if Dak short-lived, that's where he started. But come on, man. We have 2 tight ends. We have people motioning.
Totally.
We protect. Lyle stands over there by himself. Lyle does it by himself.
Yep.
And you don't know. You think our boy Wonder is doing great things at offensive coordinator.
Right.
Let my boy Lyle get back and get his rhythm back, and you'll see
Great call.
some crazy stuff, man. That one right there, man, when I hear people talking about that one, I'll defend Lyle. But now, Gallup, that's going to be a hard call, man, because it's going to be hard to just do Cedric like that. It's going to be hard, man, because Coach last week said in his press conference, Cedric is one of the few players that can play every position, and he need minimal reps. That's almost irreplaceable guy, man.
But I think it's great that we can sit and have this conversation.
So great.
Hey, everybody loves being in a year of abundance.
Right.
When you're having this talk where this guy could go out there, this guy could go out there, it's absolutely wonderful. And, going on with Lyle, I mean, he's an absolutely wonderful player. I mean, the guy, man, when he's out there, he brings a toughness to the game like no other. And, it's very unfortunate to see that he's going through the situation that he's in now. But I think, going through those things, and as an NFL player, you kind of get to sit down, you focus, and it makes you more hungry to go out there and play football. It makes you hungry to go out there and play football. And to see Terrence Steele, man, I just like I said, your rookie year, it's hard to come into the NFL and play football. Man, I mean, as much as we want to sit here and talk, if you just – it's hard to come in and, do something and fill those shoes for a Lyle or a Tyron Smith. But to see him playing, with the confidence that he has this year, it's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, I try to tell people last year, Shannon, I defended this kid all over. Let Coach Philman is working with this kid. I defended him. But, see, you got to keep looking at that film. And now that he's confident, he's better. Mm-hmm. When you get a guy blow past you 2 or 3 times, like the dude from Cleveland blew past him early in the game, you knew the game was over for this kid.
Yeah, it's tough.
So now he willing to take that challenge. And now he like, if I can get my hands on you, I'm going to kill you. Well, not kill you, but I'm going to grind you up.
Exactly.
So, I know what you're talking about, man. Ooh, I had it handed to me a couple of times. That ain't a good thing.
Hey, I tell you what, man.
And he was in such a tough spot. I mean, undrafted free agent out of Texas Tech, and go play left tackle and go block Myles Garrett. Good luck.
Thank you, man.
God bless you.
Yeah.
It's one of the toughest things to do. And, man, with the wide receiver position, going back to Michael Gallup, Mike's such a great dude, and I think one of the things we don't get to talk about much is how much of a great guy he is in the locker room, man. You want to talk about just a positive guy. Even when he went down, he's cheering on his teammates. You got to love him, just his personality in there.
All right, let's take our last break. When we come back, who knows what we'll talk about, because we got the great Jumbo Joe Looney.
Remember that Super Bowl?
Which one? Oh, yeah, we got
the one you forgot
Let's
about.
Let's talk about that.
I forgot about
some Super Bowl.
I was trying not to get you on this nonsense.
I've already booked my flight for L.A. I don't know what you're talking about.
You can book it all you want. You'll be going to Mexico with Shannon.
When we come back, we'll get on the nonsense train with Nate Newton.
Okay, all right.
We'll be right back. You're listening to Cowboys Crosstalk on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
SWBC Mortgage's Cowboys Crosstalk.
Yeah, check this out.
Broadcasting live from the Cowboys Club at the Star in Frisco.
SWBC PEO, helping to alleviate the HR administrative burden that comes with running a business. Leave the worrying to us. Visit swbcpeo.com to find out more. But wait until after the show, because this is the final segment, and I have a bone to pick with the biggest Cowboy fan that I know. Shannon Gross here, joined by Ari Timpkin, the greatness of Joe Looney. Last segment
Yes,
here. Give it up for
sir.
Jumbo Joe.
Thank you, guys.
Jumbo
And the
Joe.
biggest Cowboy fan that I know, Mr. Nate Newton.
Yes, sir.
You just said the Super Bowl this year is nonsense.
It
and
is.
Ari, I want you to get him after
Yeah,
he
it is.
says
It
whatever
is.
he's going to say. Why?
See, I just believe it's too many stages you have to go through, and you haven't gotten past the first stage. I mean, you've won the NFC East. You know, you've done that several times. But you've gotten to the first round of the playoffs. There's always that second round, and the talent get better and better. This thing is set up for the Cowboys to be in the playoffs. You look at the NFC East and the rest of their opponents, they catching these teams at the wrong time when they're on rolls. We catch these teams on the back end now, maybe, but we've been decided about the next 8 games. We shouldn't lose the next 4 games. Ain't no way. You look at the schedule. There's no way. So now we 8-1. Now we got to get on the back end of that schedule. We can squeak out 3 or 4 more games. But the other teams will be so beat up. But now you playing the better teams when you get in the playoffs. You ain't playing no easy. It don't happen. You're going to play up a good defense. You're going to have somebody that can match up with Amari. You can have somebody that can match up with CD or stop your run game. So that is what I'm saying. And then we don't know the injuries 5 weeks from now. For other teams are us. So let's go, get in the playoffs. Let's see where we're seated. Let's win that first game. Let's win that next game. And then you won't be able to hold me back because I'm already visualizing getting me some miniature flags right this house with some stoppers on them. I'm going to each city we whooped along the way. And just going to their local bar in front of their stadium.
Staking it out.
And staking it out like bacon.
Don't leave Jesse on the porch this time. Make sure you pick
I ain't
Jesse
taking
up
Jesse
second
with me.
week.
I'm going to let you know straight up, Jesse Holly ain't going with me.
Ari, you agree with Nate, or do you think this Super Bowl potential?
In terms of like incremental growth experience in the playoffs, is that the quarterback specifically? Because how do you?
It's the whole team. See, one thing that I love about Brady, I love about Rodgers. Even if you can get the guy from Seattle, if you can get them to the second round, and you can have them within 3 to 7 points with 4 minutes left on that clock, you are scared to death.
Yeah.
Have we ever just been into that position where our quarterback has the mojo moment? So you get what I'm saying? You got to. There's certain times, man, in the game, you'll see Brady getting blowed out, or you'll see him getting beat in the game, but he's still in there because he's trying out things. He's running his team. Is that
saw that week one.
Stuff like that? You see what I'm saying?
Saw that week one.
But and so I tell people, you have to get in moments and live through those moments, man. Is our offensive line going to be intact enough to make all of these adjustments? Because now in the playoffs, you got your 50 scouts and your coaches looking at one team. They ain't spread out over the country.
Right.
Looking at your weaknesses. Do you have enough strength to cover your weaknesses in the playoffs?
So success for you this year, get to the second round of the playoffs.
And win it.
And
then lose the NFC Championship game.
Oh, my goodness. Joe, what's success for you look like?
Well, I'm not an analyst by any means, but I think both of you guys are hitting,
Right.
the hammer on the nail. And the great thing about the playoffs is when you get in the tournament, you're in the tournament.
You don't know.
Yeah, and you have no idea. It's a 1-game season at that point. And from being a player and being a fan of football, when you're in those games, I mean, you're the details you go down into. I mean, it makes you a better player. It brings all the the goodness out of you as a player because it's win or go home. So I mean, if you can get yourself in the tournament and make it a one-season game after that, I mean, anything can happen at that point. Anything can happen because I know, as being a backup player, being in a backup role, you always prepare like you're going to be a starter, so there's no drop off. And the one year, Travis went down and he got hurt, and I stepped up and had to go in there and play. And I was blessed to have a guy like that in my ear. But it makes you want to play that much better because the standard of what the team is looking for. So you get in that tourney and you go from there, baby.
I mean, the other thing, to Nate's point before, like what we saw week 1, do we have enough confidence in this defense to where you give the ball back to an Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs, you give the ball back to a Tom Brady in the playoffs, you're down, you're up 3, you're up 4, you're up 2. So I think if this offense is good enough to win a Super Bowl, I believe that. But the question is, are they good enough defensively to get a stop in a moment that they need to, like so many times before when Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs have, to everybody, not just the Cowboys, but to everybody, where he's done those moments. You have a defense and get those stops, a stop when they need to.
You saw Tampa Bay do that to Green Bay last year.
Yep.
They got those stops when they, and that's you the strain of every play. You've run hundreds and hundreds of plays during the regular season, but when you get into that second round of the playoffs, the strain of 10 plays that you almost have to be perfect on or get a break on. It is so tremendous, and that's what I tell you. That second round, that's where the Bulldogs bark and the Poodles go home. I'm telling you.
But, yeah, just like we talked about, when we had our mics off, we were talking about, sometimes you need the ball to roll your way in the NFL. There's got to be, some kind of way the ball's got to roll your way. The planets align to get to that Super Bowl because, from experience, from going to the Super Bowl once, it's so hard to just get into the playoffs and even sniff that field, again. But, man, once you're there, you definitely need that sense of the ball rolling your way in the game.
See, I don't care. We didn't care. Oh, man, they got lucky. Like I told you guys off air. Oh, man, they played against 7 backup quarterbacks that year. Okay, my ring is still big. It's still shining.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, for them to get to the Super Bowl, they got to go to New England and take care of business this weekend.
Yes, sir.
New England's not having the greatest year, but that is a tough place to play. The weather always seems to be tricky when the Cowboys go up there. Ari, what do you expect to happen, and what kind of outcome do you think? What's your score prediction?
1987. That's the last time the Cowboys won in New England.
Wow.
I was there for that.
I was
there. Right on.
Who was the quarterback?
Some guy, Pelluer, I think, somebody like that. I don't know.
For the Patriots, I meant.
Steve Grogan. I don't know.
I mean, I think the Cowboys will win. As Nate said, I mean, you look at the schedule, and there's just. To me, it comes down to, can any of these offenses that they're going to play out-duel them? Not New England's. Absolutely not.
Yeah, the Cowboys are definitely going to put up points. It's always tougher playing on the road, but that offense is going to put up points, and the defense is playing, where they need to be right now, and they can definitely go up there, and bring it back to Dallas.
Neither one of you gave me a score.
Oh, I'll go 28-17, baby. Dallas Cowboys.
That's what we do on this show.
Let's go.
28? That's
28-17. Hey, they're on the road. The weather's going to, we never know what the weather is, so that's my score prediction, baby.
All right, I'll go with low scoring. I'll go Cowboys 34, Patriots 17.
Nate?
1 point. That's all I need, but I need a victory. I'm trying to get to the playoffs.
Who's winning, though? Who do you have winning?
Cowboys, 17-0. I mean, 16-1.
Wow. This is why
16-1.
This is why I'm shocked that he doesn't have them winning the Super Bowl the next 3 years.
You wait 2 weeks before the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Love it.
Ari, it has been a pleasure, man. It's always good to see you.
You
Nate,
too.
good seeing you. Thank you for coming. Oh, you got fist bump me. The great Joe Looney joining us tonight. We'll be back next week. It's been another episode of Cowboys Crosstalk. See you next week.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?